My name's Rhys and I'm here to talk today about the Dock 3, some of the features that have been added, and the workflow changes involving 2D mapping, 3D mapping, and change detection over time. So when you're setting up your mission and you're considering your ultimate goal would be, how do you set a mission up to where it can be replicated over and over again, and somebody doesn't have to take the time to go back and look themselves. They could use the analytics to then process that information. It saves them a lot of time. One of the most important things, I think, when you're building a map plan like this is you really have to go top down from the top left of the screen and proceed down the entire settings. So the key settings are going to be, you need to be at a height that's going to allow it to detect what it actually is and to recognize the changes. So GSD, or ground sample distance, is an important setting that you need to understand, and it's actually pretty cool because it gives you the ability to increase or decrease the model quality when doing 2D or 3D mapping by increasing or decreasing the amount of centimeters per pixel. And what that basically means is you're raising or lowering the drone and the amount of photos that are going to be taken in order to capture the style that you want. If you want a higher quality, you decrease the centimeters per pixel. If you want a lower quality, you can increase the centimeters per pixel. It'll automatically adjust your altitude and help you get the type of quality you want. When you get that map set up, you can go right in the task library and you can set it on daily, hourly. It's one of the easiest things to do. You set the plan that you want to do, you name it specifically for what you want to call it so that you can recognize what that particular purpose was for, and then set up that task either on, again, you can do weekly, you can do monthly. It's really like unlimited for what kind of schedule you can create. And by doing that, you can then automate this type of a mission, mark down what that schedule is, get your pilots involved when they need to be involved. And from there, you know that mission's always going to happen on schedule, on point. It's really awesome that you can take the data that's here, the photos you capture, and then process it with the cloud mapping, and it sits right there for you to where you can analyze, you can shift between all the models, and of course you can take the direct 2D maps. This is not just photos. You can take the 2D maps and then you can do the detection analysis on actual maps instead of just photos. So there's a lot of different options that you could do, but it's done all within the FlightHub environment. And you don't always have to go out and put that data somewhere else and take the time. You can set a region that's larger and detect larger changes, or you can detect small changes. And it's really good at taking the information that's right there, telling you what's different, and then you make adjustments based on what your needs are to get the proper analysis done. We do a lot of mapping, and one of the best things about the Dock 3 is the 5-way capture. So this 5-way capture now takes 5 different angles. So as you're going along a path, it's going to take multiple angles all at the same time. Taking one photo at a time, going on a lot more patterns, and take you a lot longer than what this method's going to provide. And we're really excited about how much data you can capture within a short period of time, or shorten your missions and you don't have to fly for as long. So I'm a big fan of processing things in 3D models, and one of the good things about being able to analyze within a 2D model as well as 3D is just that you're going to be able to save a little bit more time on the amount of photos you have to take, and of course the file sizes are going to be significantly less while still retaining the ability to do the analysis. One of my favorite things to do is to plan missions in 3D on FlightHub 2. You can take your 3D model once it's processed, overlay that on top of your map, and then take the waypoint mission and plan all of your waypoints in 3D around the model you already processed. So it makes life really easy. You don't have to do that outside of FlightHub 2. You can take that process data, immediately put it in there, and start planning your missions. With the waypoint mission involving interval photos, you can take your waypoints, plan your mission, and you can set it on an interval photo capture mode that'll take photos as you approach every single one of your waypoints. So for me, it's a really good way to do it without having to designate every time I want to take a photo. And instead, I can set it on a plan, let it take its photos, and set the waypoint path that I want. One of the most important things to do when you're doing a change detection mission is to set the gimbal at 90 degrees. This prevents the software from having too many variables and speeds up the detection process and gets you the information you need without errors that are going to come up because you changed the angle of the gimbal camera. Once you're done with this waypoint planning mission and you need to analyze those photos, what you could do is you go to your media folder, you select both missions that were done. So whichever mission you need to select, you need to analyze, just select each mission, and then you can take that and hit detect changes. Once you detect those changes, it'll pull up for you side by side and you can get what you need out of it. One of the reasons why we wanted to do a larger scale automated missions across miles of range is that it takes a lot of time for people to come in and take a look at what has changed since the last time. There are crews and all kinds of different groups of people who are going in there and making changes, and they're scheduled to go out there and to perform whatever they're going to perform. But then there's not always information that comes back to whoever is monitoring and analyzing this stuff to help them understand exactly what happened. What we can do, as you can see here, is we've got some analysis that's going on that can say, hey, you know, not everything in this river image here is changed. However, this specific spot is different. So we know there might be some things that have gotten done here, but there's still additional work to be done based on what's left there. So when we fly this map plan again, you know, when there's additional work that's gone on or another crew that's gone out there to continue to clean up, they'd be able to tell what is left that they need to clean up, and then again, do the map again and understand what's different. Now the best part is when you want to work as a team, it's really easy to get the sharing settings out. You can add people to your organization, add people to that specific project, and they can grab the information, or they can go in directly and just view what already has been done. So you can set this kind of stuff on a schedule, and then everybody is on the same page and they understand that the information is there. And that way, when you put them into the organization, into this project, they can go in and get what they need without having to bother people. So those are some of my workflows, and I hope you'll enjoy getting into the software and doing it yourself.